Hiya! So, hello! Right now, I'm coming to you with my November wrap-up. In November, I read 7 books. 3 of them were owned by me, like real actual books, and the other were ebooks. So I'm gonna talk about the ebooks first. The first one was The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman or Gilman. It's a short story about a woman who has postpartum depression, and her husband is kind of a psychologist, but it's set in 1880 something, and he thinks that for her to heal, she has to stay alone in a room which is not her house, away from her child, in this room alone. And this room has yellow wallpaper, and she starts seeing things in this yellow wallpaper, and sometimes the yellow wallpaper will move, and she will sometimes smell it, and she is certain that this wallpaper is alive. And it's kind of a gradual descent into madness. It's like a diary, and she writes normally in the beginning that her husband loves her and he's doing this for her best, and stuff like that. And in the end, she's like, he's doing this because he wants me to suffer, and he has something to do with this. I think it's kind of a statement against these kinds of treatments of postpartum depression, that it normally doesn't work the way her husband was so lovingly trying to fix her. And I found it to be a really interesting short story, and really, really terrifying. Then Us by Curtis Wilkland. Yes, Curtis Wilkland. It's a more of a picture book. He decided to do doodles. He married this girl, and he decided to do doodles all through the first year of their marriage. So every day he would do a doodle about that day in their marriage, and it's a really cutesy afternoon read. They talk about Chandy. So there are doodles where they're just like sitting in bed watching TV. There are doodles where they're fighting in IKEA. There are doodles where they're arguing. It's cute. But the thing that I only gave it oh, I forgot to say the yellow wallpaper, I gave it 4 stars. This is called Us, and the one I'm talking about right now, and I gave it only 3 stars because I felt like the doodles were not consistent. It was like it was drawn by at least 4 different people, and sometimes the doodles were like this, sometimes the doodles were in a totally different configuration, and I didn't like that. I preferred a little bit more consistency, since the book was gonna be all about this doodles. So I read next Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I talked in the last videos, I talked so much about this book. I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. I'm just gonna say it's about 2 sisters who are really obsessed about this event called Caraval, and they really want to go, and they really want to win the prize. And the Caraval is hosted by a guy named Legend, and they finally get to go to Caraval in this book, and it's really good. I gave it 4 stars. The next book I read was Legendary why did I say legendary? It's Legendary by Stephanie Garber, which is the sequel to Caraval. I liked it very much. I don't know why people um, say the first book is better, but I didn't think so. I think this one was paced more quickly and things happen more. And the first book is more in the view of the first sister called Scarlet, and the second book is more in the perspective of the second sister called Donatella, which everyone calls Tella. And I don't know, I liked her perspective and her gutsy um personality more, and I gave this 5 stars. The next book I read was Peter Pan, but I read this Peter Pan right here. Look at it. Just look at this beautiful book. So the thing is, I recently discovered that I didn't even tab it because it was so beautiful. I recently discovered that one of the main people who designed the artistic part of Harry Potter the movies were a man called Fernando Lima, which is Brazilian. And I was so proud, and I found out that he has a company with his partner called Mina Lima. So his partner's name is Mina and his last name is Lima, so Mina Lima. And they make these amazing beautiful books with their illustrations, and there are interactive illustrations. So let me show you some. Like in here, they even put like things to protect the illustrations. It's amazing. So here you get like where the beasts are, where Peter is. You can move it around Neverland. It's such a precious book. There's this map of Skull Island, which I also found really cool. So you open it and it's literally a map of Skull Island. There's just it's so much more fun to read a book like that. I have to tell you, it's like you're a child again. And I found all this out because in my birthday, my brother gave me the new Harry Potter edition, which is made by Mina Lima, and it's, oh my god, it's, I don't know what to say. It's perfection. And I'm gonna definitely have to collect every single Harry Potter book now made by Mina Lima. That I just showed 2 of them, but there are so many more, and they're all so amazingly beautiful. And that's not the only illustrations, you know, there are a lot more illustrations during the length of the book. But speaking about the book itself, it's whimsical. It's like you're in a dream. Everything happens like in a dream. Like if you want something, it'll happen like in a dream. It's literally like a child wrote it. It's so innocent. It breaks your heart. It's so beautifully written. If I ever had a child, which I'm not gonna, I would definitely read this to him or her. It's beautiful. It's dreamy. It's everything you would wish for in a child's book. The only thing that made me give it 4 stars and not 5 stars are some of the problematic phrases, and sometimes he called the indigenous people redskins, and he talks about women being kind of more submissive and mending clothes and doing this and that, and I thought that was that kind of made me have to take 1 star from this book. But you have to take in consideration that this book was written in 1913 or 1912, so you know, for that time this book is actually kind of ahead of its time. The next 2 books I'm going to talk about being are borrowed right now, so I'm gonna put pictures here of them. The first one is Strange World, and it's like a comic book, a little comic strip book about like an alien trying to figure out how to live in our planet with all its customs and day-to-day stuff, and he finds it all really weird, and it's funny to read it because you start wondering why we do the things we do. The next book is, I gave it 4 stars. The next book is Where Are the Beatles? Is basically like a Where's Waldo but with the Beatles, and it doesn't only have the Beatles. It has Linda, Yoko, Bob Dylan, Elvis, Madonna, a bunch of people, and you have to find them. And I think it was really cool because it had places really connected to the Beatles. So it had them in the Cavern Club, the Magic Mystery Tour, Yellow Submarine, uh, Strawberry Fields, A Hard Day's Night, the movie. So it was really fun actually trying to find them. It was, you know, like I said, a cool afternoon read after you finish like a really long book. Is really good to unwind. So I give it 4 stars. And that's it. That's my November wrap up. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you soon. Bye.